Justin.
Yes.
Good to go here. I'm missing something. Oh, I got my IBA here. All right, all right. Yeah, I'll use them, but
Yeah.
all right, let's begin. Hey, good afternoon. How y'all doing?
Oh, great.
Good. I'm excited about being here. Justin shared with me about you all was his family, and I wanted to make sure he put you down as a referral. I want to come by and sit down and talk to you all about who we are and what we do and where we're going. So I appreciate that very much. One of the first things I want to do is get started is just give you a little bit of background to talk to you about what we do and how we do it. But in doing so, you already got me some water, so I appreciate that. I needed some water, you know.
Yeah.
I needed that. Justin's doing very, very well in the business. I'm very excited about the decision that he made to come on board with us and to be trained, and he's looking like he's going to be one of our newest vice presidents. By the way, he's moving right now, so he's moving in the right direction. So I'm excited about it. But I want to just share with you all what was shared with me from day one. When the gentleman sat down with me, he just asked me some questions. And when he asked me those questions, it caught me in the right mindset, and it allowed me to do what I'm going to do right now. So first thing I want to ask, do either of you all have an insurance or an investment license?
No.
No,
Is there any reason why not?
never thought about it.
Me.
And neither did I. I never thought about it. So I'm 26 years old. The guy sitting down talking to me about this, I had never thought about it. He said to me, he said, Mike, what I want to share with you is one of the best kept secrets in America is to have an insurance and investment license because it builds first generational wealth. Okay? He said, if you think about it, every service regarding that is going to be touched upon your life. Like you all about auto insurance, homeowners insurance, life insurance, college plans, retirement plans. You're going to do all those kind of things. And with doing those kind of things, you're going to need to be licensed. So at least you can get paid yourself. Because I don't know how many more years you think you're going to be driving an automobile.
Forever.
Forever, right. So whether that's 20 years or 30 years, it'd be better if you was getting paid for it.
Almost definitely.
Okay?
Yes.
And then the second thing he shared with me is that not just the best kept secret, he shared with me also that there are two things that responsible people are going to be concerned about, two additional things. One is living too long and running out of money. Would you agree that's a problem?
Yes,
Yes.
oh, yeah.
And the second one is dying too soon and not leaving any.
Yes.
Okay? And he shared that with me. So the point I want to make to you is that in this regards, he said to me, you've been to a funeral before, right?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
All right. And I have as well. He said, when I go to a funeral and you go to a funeral, people bring flowers and cards for condolences. He said, when I go to a funeral, I bring flower cards, but also I bring a check because I sat down and put a plan together for them. And when they passed away, I bring a check. So when I come in, they're going to treat me a little different than treat you because they want me to walk through the procession line with the family. Okay? When they have the repast, they have me sit at this head table with them. I might get the biggest piece of chicken that day.
Yeah.
I got that check, right?
Yeah.
We're making a difference in their family, so it's always exciting to do that. But let me just show you what he shared with me to catch my attention. He said to me, he said, Mike, I sat down with a family. This is how we protect families. He protect their incomes. Okay. He said I put 500,000 on the husband, 500,000 on the wife, and 10 and 30 on the children. Gave them a total of $1,030,000. It cost them $159 a month. All right. So my point is that now you know most people get paid by the hour
Yes.
at their job. And he said, so what do you think if I sat down with a family, I was with them for less than an hour, I put together a package for them, $500,030 for $159. When I left their house, I gave them a check. They gave me a check for $159. So my question to you is, what do you think they would pay me an hour for doing this?
$30.
$30. Okay.
That's what I thought.
Right. Okay.
Well, you know we don't say
Right.
that.
And the guy said to me, I thought 20, to be honest with you. I saw it for the first time, you know, and I was raising it up from where I was getting paid at, right?
Right.
So I said 20, you said 30. And he said to me, he looked me in my eye, he said, now I understand why you don't have an insurance or investment license. He said, because Mike, you thought I was sitting down with people making $20, $30 an hour. I'm an RVP, okay, with this company. When I sat down with somebody, I just want to show you what he showed me. He said, Mike, as an RVP, if I sat down with somebody and they gave me a check of $159 and I left their house, can you read how much they paid me?
$1,814.26.
And I sat down with them for an hour.
Really? $1,800?
$1,800.
Oh, my
Okay.
God.
All right.
Really?
So would you agree that's a big deal?
Oh, that's a major deal.
That's a
Okay.
real big
So
deal.
watch this. At the company that you currently work at right now, you say you work for Nabisco, and I know you say you work for IBM. My point is that Nabisco, if you saw on board where they were hiring, they had 5 positions, and you got me referred to them, and I got hired with them, how much would they pay you for referring me if I got hired at Nabisco?
0.
0. Okay, and I know at IBM, I know they got a package where, you know, usually if you refer somebody, they give you $500, but how often is that?
Oh, that's not too long.
Right, one time. You know, they pay you one time
Right.
if I make it past 90 days. Well, our company is about expanding. We're trying to grow, and in order to grow, you got to incent people to grow. Okay, and to have those individuals grow, the company says that what we're going to do is, watch this. Say this was Nabisco, and they said we got to hire 5 people, and those 5 people that we hire. That if they get hired, we're paying you $30 an hour, but we're starting them at 20. It says for every hour that those people work, we're gonna pay you $10. The difference between their level and your level, we're gonna pay you $10. Okay? Would you agree you can help us find some more people?
Oh, most definitely.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
You're gonna help us find some more people,
Right,
and we're gonna
right.
pay you that $10 an hour for every hour that they work until they move up promotion wise.
Really?
Okay, so if they move up and make, you know, $22 an hour, you still gonna get 8. If they
Okay.
move up and make, you know, $30, $20 an hour, we're gonna pay you more. You know, so we're gonna pay you the difference.
Okay.
That's what we're saying.
Okay.
So, but they don't have that program in the
No,
business.
no. It sounded good.
Right. Well, see, the guy said to me, he said, Mike, that's the way it works at the company that we have.
Okay.
He says, if you introduce me to the company and I put myself in a position where I go to work, they're going to pay you the difference between my level and your level. Let me show you what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Let's say you're the RVP, okay? If you're the RVP, you'd have made $1,800, right?
Right.
You introduced me to the company, I came as a rep, all right? As a rep, they paid me, how much they say they paid me?
$407.96.
Right, pay me $407, okay? The company's gonna pay you the difference between my level and your level. They're gonna send you $1,400. Are you following me?
Wow.
Okay, so every time I go help somebody, I'm excited about my $400 because I'm
Right.
making $10 at my job right
Exactly,
now, all right?
exactly.
So I'm excited about $400, but they said they're gonna pay you the difference between my level and your level. They're gonna send you $1,400. So
Wow.
if I just help one family, they're gonna pay you $1,400, and so you can see why somebody might be trying to find 10 or more.
Oh, most
So if you
definitely.
found 10 people like me and they just help one family each, what they helped them with is help them protect their income. Okay. Because it's not if they die, it's when they die.
Right.
Yes.
All right. So 1,400 times 10 is about $14,000. Whether you're making 1,400 or 14,000, if that happens on a consistent basis, somebody's going to have what we call a lifestyle change.
Oh, yeah.
All right. And he said to me, he said, Mike, a lifestyle change says somebody's going to change the zip code or improve where they live at right now. Somebody's going to change the emblem on the car they drive, the location of their next vacation, where their kids go to school, and how much they put into a tire envelope. Okay. So it's going to be some differences.
They ain't gonna change their spouses.
No. They ain't changed that. They ain't changed that.
Oh, I'm saying, yeah.
Right.
Make that kind of money.
So my point is that that's what he shared with me.
Okay.
Okay. And so when I saw that, I was like, wow. So he said, in closing, he said, let me ask you, I told you 2 things. One, I told you one of the best kept secrets in America is to have an insurance and investment license,
Right.
because it's going to create first generational wealth. You're going to use those services for the rest of your life. If you don't do nothing to help yourself, you need to have a license.
Yes.
If you have an entrepreneurship spirit where you can help some other people, the company can pay you for helping the company expand and also pay you a piece of the profit from what they do.
Yes.
All right? And the second thing I told you is that 2 things responsible people are going to be concerned about. One is living too long and running out of money,
Right.
and or dying too soon and not leaving any money. Okay? So my question to you is, he said to me, he said, what do you think the most logical question that you all probably want to ask me at this particular time? What do you think the most logical question?
How I get started?
How I get started?
Right,
Okay.
right,
All right.
right.
So that's what I said.
License,
I got excited. He said people ask how I get started. How can I get a license? How can I get down with y'all? Depending on who you're talking to.
Right, right.
And so that's what he shared. And so he said, but before I talk to you in more detail about that, I want to just take you through another phase of our presentation. Okay. But that's how he caught my attention immediately. In the first 5 to 7 minutes, he caught my attention about an entrepreneurship spirit and about understanding how and why I need to have an insurance investment license. Okay. Next thing I want to share with you all very quickly is I want to ask you a couple questions. You all share with me already, but you mentioned that you work for Nabisco, you work for IBM. Let me ask you, either one of you all plan on retiring from there, plan on staying there for the rest of your life?
Lord, no.
Yeah, well.
You will, but you're not.
No,
Okay, and
I
I understand.
hope not to.
I understand. But he's gonna retire, and you're gonna leave. Okay, I understand that. But here's my point. My point is that the question I asked is he's planning on staying. I'm gonna ask him these questions, right? All right. The point is, if the guy asked me, he said, "Are they paying you all the money you need to make to hit the kind of goals and dreams you have?"
No.
If they were, what are some additional goals and dreams you have that's gonna cost money?
I want a home, want a new car, and I want to take my baby on that vacation.
Vacation. Anything you want to add to that?
You want 2 cars, huh?
Okay, right. 'Cause you know you getting one of them, right? 2 cups, right.
2
Okay.
cars, sir.
All right. And so
Yeah, I want to put away college plans. For
college
kids.
plans for the kids. Okay, probably gang debt you want to eliminate.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, all right, okay, and that's fine. So here's my point. My point is that he then asked me, "What do you all think you need to make a year in order to make those kind of goals and dreams come true? What do you think you need to make a year?"
I think about 200,000.
About 200,000. Okay. About 300. Let me just say, women's numbers are always higher than me. Whatever the brothers say, they number always higher than me. So I just want to make sure you clear on that.
Man.
Always, okay?
Man, she too upclass.
Right.
You know, I'm a
So,
factory worker.
yep. So no problem. So what I want to do is I want to take it from there to let you understand. You said, the point is that how long, you said $200,000, okay, $300,000, and we always ask, how long do you think it'll take them to pay you all $300,000?
Never.
Never, okay.
I'm at, you know.
Same thing I said.
Yeah.
They never gonna pay me that kind of income. Okay, so as a result of that, he said to me, "Mike, we run into people every day that have goals and dreams like this, but the income is like this. We wanted to show them how to bridge the gap between their current take-home income and their future goals and dreams." And that's what he shared with my wife and I. All right. So in that scenario, he said we got 3 business opportunities that we put on the table. One is something called the Center of Influence. The Center of Influence is a person who gets certified by the state. They don't do any appointments. They don't do any presentations. They just make referrals.
Okay.
If we do business with those people, we pay you half and we make half. My mother's a Center of Influence. She just refer people. She makes half and we make half. All right. The second position, she said that position is because a lot of people believe in financial literacy, but they don't have the time to actually go teach people it.
Okay.
But they can refer people and we'll pay them half. Okay. Because people will give you a referral, but they'll give you a more consistent referral if they knew they had a chance to get paid a piece.
Almost done.
Okay, all right.
That's right.
So the second position is something we call a second career plan. The second career plan is for somebody who has a flex, looking for a flex schedule. They don't have to call us on the phone, coughing and carrying on, acting like they sick. They ain't got to talk about their auntie died again. One died 2 years ago, but they never used it at the office, right? So they want to slip that in. You don't have to do that. He said, "Give me 10 to 12 hours a week. Keep your full-time job, and we'll show you how to make an extra $20,000 to $40,000 a year without having to quit your full-time job." Okay, my sister does that right now. She makes about $35,000 a year doing that on a part-time basis. But she actually sits down with people like this. My mom, she don't sit down; she just refer. Okay. And then the third and last position is what we call a career change. Career change. The guy says, "Give me 12 to 24 months. Keep your full-time job. At the end of 24 months, if we can replace your current take-home income or come close enough to it that you know it's time to go," he said, "We'll show you how to become an RVP, which we call a regional vice president. We'll show you how to own your own franchise, and we'll show you how to make 6 figures a year for the rest of your life." Okay? And so with that in mind, he shared that with me, and I didn't believe the third part because I didn't know anybody making 6 figures a year around me. If I grew up on 87 between Damon Nash and anybody that made 6 figures, the police was looking for them. Okay, so I ain't know nobody making over 100,000. So I got involved on a part-time basis, and when I got involved on a part-time basis, I made $8,000 the first year. My second year, they paid me $32,500. I quit my full-time job, and my first year full-time, they paid me $88,000. My second year full-time, they paid me $120,000. Okay, so I was 26 when I started. I'm 30 now. I was 30 at that point, and they paid me over $100,000. Never made less than that since then. Doing nothing but teaching people how money works. Okay, so what I want to do right now is to ask you, in order to hit the kind of goals and dreams that you all have. You say you'd like to get 2 cars, okay? get another house, be able to eliminate the debt, send the kids to college, take some more vacations, right? Which of those 3 programs would you have to consider to hit those goals? Would it be the Center of Influence, the second career, or the career change? Which one would you have to consider at least?
I think I need to consider the part-time.
The part-time,
Career
okay.
change, yeah.
Career change for you. Okay, I understand because she already ready to leave her job already. So she would have to go to career change.
Right.
You're saying the second career. Okay,
right.
and so that's what I did. I said the second career program, and that's how I got started. And I went on full time down the road. But what I want to do right now is just give you all an overview of who we are and what we do, and see if we can have a business future together. Okay,
Sounds good.
and I know today is what I call a recruiting presentation for Justin. Okay, and versus if I was sitting down with you all doing a full presentation, I would give you a lot more detail. But I'm just giving you an overview.
Okay.
Okay, all right.
That's fine.
All right. So, in this, the company represents Primerica. Primerica is the largest independent financial services marketing organization in North America, meaning we got more licensed people than any other company in the United States that do what we do.
Okay.
We're founded in 1977. We're listed on the New York Stock Exchange under the symbol PRI. All right. A lot of times when I'm talking to individuals, I let them understand. When I'm going through my phone, I let them understand what that means. PRI is how we're traded, but right here on my phone, if you can see PRI, you can see. Can you see what it closed at yesterday?
Oh, $101
$101.
a share. Wow.
When we went public April 1st, 2010, which was 8 years ago, it was $15 a share.
Wow.
It's $101 a share right now.
Wow.
And can you see what the company is worth? Can you see what that is? Yes, can you see that?
Oh, it's worth, is that $4 billion?
$4 billion. So all I'm trying to do is let you know that Jess is not having you sit down with some fly-by-night company that just started last week in somebody's basement talking about it's hot. Okay? It is. So I want to share that with you up front. But what I want to do right now is just give you a little background on who our strategic partners are. Okay? Our strategic partners, here's Primerica, but here's our strategic partners. We do 401k plans with Voya and AXA. We can take them over and we can set them up. So some companies do not have 401k plans. We can set them up. Some people have them. We can go bid to take them away. All right. We also do annuities, which is like a pension type program for people who don't have pension. By the way, 90% of the people in America do not have a pension. Okay. So at Nabisco they don't offer pensions, and IBM they don't offer pensions anymore. Only 9%, 9 to 10% of the people have pensions in America. So we have annuities through AIG, MetLife, Lincoln, and AXA that we can also set up a pension type plan for people to get a check for the rest of their life.
Gotcha.
All right. We also do managed accounts for people who have a lot more money they want to deal with. We do mutual funds with several different families of funds. They can start with as little as $25, $50 a month and get started or more. We can set up college plans, retirement plans, or just investment programs just to get somebody started to start investing for themselves. And then we also do legal protection, which are wills, trusts, access to an attorney. We do that as well. We also have long-term care with Jim Worth and John Hancock. If somebody had to go into a nursing home, we have that particular program. We also have a company that we deal with called Answer Financial. We do auto and homeowners insurance. The reason why most people don't save money on auto and homeowners insurance is because they don't have time to shop it. They don't have time to call all the people. So with our company, we got a contract with the top 20 companies in every state. You call a 1-800 number, which I'll leave you a brochure on that. You call a 1-800 number, and in 15 minutes, they're going to give you a quote on your auto and home, and we're saving 6 out of 10 people that call. 6 out of 10 people that call us, we're saving the money. Okay? So we want to let people understand that, where you can make a difference. We also have a company that we work with called Vivid. Vivid is our home security. You know, everybody needs home security to make sure they can move forward. They have the top line technology where somebody walk up to your door, ring the bell, they got it all right? So they are undercutting ADT left and right. So it's a big deal. So we're just letting people understand you might want to consider that if you don't have an alarm system or you would like to have one, or we'd like to compete for your business. All right? And then also we're in a position where we do health insurance with a company called Go Health. So if people need health insurance, we offer that. And then we use life insurance differently. We use life insurance to protect income. We don't use life insurance for just burial. We use it to protect income, and you'll see what I'm talking about. As a result of all this, we have about $47 billion in assets under management with about 2 million clients that do investment products with us. And then we have about $693 billion of life insurance in force with about 5 million clients that do business with us. So this is who we are, and I just want you to get an opportunity to see that. I'm sure you probably heard of some of those companies already.
I have.
Okay.
For sure.
And so that's what I want to share with you. So what I want to do right now is just give you an overview of how we actually help families. Okay. So, and to give you an overview of how we help families, here's a family. Here's a family we sat down with. They were 30 years of age, John and Mary. They had 2 children. This is before we did a game plan for them and after we did a plan for them. Okay. When we met them, from a debt standpoint, they had $165,000 first mortgage, 24 years left to pay on it. All right. They had $13,000 in credit card, 58 years before they was going to pay it off because they was paying the minimum to everybody. They would be 88 before they eliminated all the debt. Okay, we put them in a position where we got them in a plan we call Primerica Debt Watch. It's a fast pay plan to pay off all their credit cards and the mortgage. We paid all off in 20 years. They're at 50 years of age, they were 30. At 50 years of age, they're totally debt free. Imagine how people would feel to be debt free if they were 30 and they're 50. Now they have no debt at all. Mortgage, cars, credit cards, everything. That'd be a big deal.
Oh,
That's a big deal.
So we ended up saving that person over $56,000 in interest, got him out of the mortgage 4 years earlier, and didn't cost anything extra. So would you agree we changed his life?
Oh, yes.
Okay, so we moved through in that process. So next piece, from a life insurance standpoint, to protect their income, this is what they had for life insurance. For life insurance, when we met them, they had $150,000 on the husband and wife, none on the children. They had a cash value policy, which insurance and savings mixed together, paying $285 a month. They said they're gonna have $124,000 at age 65. I want to highlight that. $124,000 at age 65 is what they said they're gonna have. Okay. We gave them $400,000 on the husband, $400,000 on the wife, $10,000 on each of the children for $126 a month. We saved them $159. They went from $150 to $400,000.
Okay.
But let me show you something. In this example, would you agree that made a difference?
Yeah.
Yes.
We gave them more than double the coverage
Yes.
Less money.
for less money.
Right.
All right. So in this example, what I want to share with you is that we have a lot of people that will tell Justin when he's meeting with him, "Oh, I got life insurance already." Okay, they got life insurance already. I want to just show you, because this piece that I want to show you, mind me using this?
Oh, go ahead, sir.
Because I want to leave this with you.
Okay.
This is what they showed me that blew me away. First thing he asked, and I'll ask you all the questions.
Okay.
I asked my wife and I, he said, "Do you all have any life insurance outside of your job? I know you got insurance at your job,
Yes.
but you mentioned you had some insurance outside your job. How much do you have?"
I got 50,000.
50,000 on you,
That's for both of us.
both of you. Okay, so 50,000 each. And what do you think you are paying a month for that?
About 125.
About 125. Okay, all right, no problem. And he asked me 3 questions. First question he asked me is, "Do you love your family?
Yes.
Do you consider yourself responsible?
Yes.
Yes.
Can you make a common sense decision without taking forever?"
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. He showed me something that I'll never forget. He showed me a concept called the love test. And in the love test, he used an acronym called DIME, D-I-M-E. And D stood for death, I stood for income, M stood for mortgage/debt, and E stood for education of children.
Okay.
Okay. And he said, with Kurt and Joanne, he said, "You all need at least $15,000 for burial in case something should happen." He said, "If you have children 12 and over, you need to leave 60 grand. If they're 11 and under, you need to leave 40 grand. Okay. So how many children do you all have? That's under 18. 2. What's the ages?
12 and 5.
12 and 5. So you got one of each. So that means 60 plus 40. So that means we need to leave 100,000 in case something should happen, so we can fund the education of those children."
Okay.
Y'all with me?
Yes.
Okay. And then he asked the question of us. He said, "If somebody said, 'I'm gonna bless your family, I'm gonna bless you and wipe out all the debt that you have. If I had to write a check right now, how much would the check need to be written for if I was gonna wipe all the debt out?"
We was just talking about that. Wasn't it 175,000?
Yes.
175?
Yeah.
Okay. To wipe everything out. Credit cards, car loans, student loan. Okay.
Yeah.
About 175. Okay.
Yeah, we do.
All right. And so he said to me, he said, "Mike, when something happens to you, not if." He said, "When something happens to you, you want to be able to have enough for burial. You want to have enough to fund the education because the children has to be here.
Right.
They need a shot to be able to be independent on their own.
Okay.
And then also you need to be able to position yourself to where you can wipe out all the debt, so you're not leaving that on either spouse." Okay. He said, "If all that was taken care of, you passed away and all that was taken care of," he said, "how much of your income would you need to still keep coming in monthly without saying all of it? How much you think you would still need to come? I mean, everything's paid off. The mortgage paid off, debt paid. How much of your income would need to still keep coming in monthly?
I think about 2,000.
2,000?
4,000.
4,000. You still need 4,000. I told you, man, women numbers are always higher, brother. I'm just telling you. No matter what you say, they numbers are always higher. So, but real talk, I don't want to have a hyped up number because this is going to be very important. But there's no mortgage, there's no credit cards, there's no debt. You're still working, but the income.
I'm still working.
Yeah, you're still working. Okay. A
Oh,
little while.
okay, my
Okay.
blessing.
Right. So about 3,000. Okay, all right. So $3,000. Okay, so 3,000 that you all would leave for each other. The guy showed me this. He said, "Mike, for every $1,000 a month that you say you want to leave to your loved ones, You need to at least leave $100,000 worth of insurance. I mean, you need to at least have $100,000 worth of insurance. So you've heard of trust fund concept. Trust fund concept says if something happens to you, you left a lump sum of money, your family get a check every month for the rest of their life for so many years based on how long the money lasts.
Right,
Okay.
right.
So if you're trying to leave 1,000, you need 100 grand. If you're trying to leave 3,000, you need 300. Just add 2 zeros to that. You follow me?
Yes.
So when we look at what we're talking about here, 300, 400, 500, 575, 500, 85, $590,000 is what's needed. So the question is not do you need more coverage. The question is what will your budget allow? Would you agree? Because we can
Yes.
you got $50,000 right now. 50,000
Yes.
would not protect the income of your family. All right. So the guy showed me. He said, Mike, what we're gonna do is show you exactly what that costs. If budget does not allow, we give you a smaller amount. You can always come back and readjust down the road. And my wife and I, our budget would not allow us to afford what we needed, but we started with a smaller amount and we increase it down the road. We'll come back to that. I just wanted to show you all that because I want you to catch how we took these people here. They had insurance,
Right.
but they did not have enough to
Okay.
protect their income, and that's why we took them from 150 to 400,000.
Gotcha.
And this happens every day. So Justin and I, we've been seeing people a lot, and they say they love their family, but their income was not protected.
Gotcha.
Okay, their family would be devastated if something would happen.
Right.
Okay, because these
See
people,
that.
they had $150,000. Look at here now, and they had a $165,000 mortgage. They couldn't even pay it off the mortgage. They still got 2 kids to raise. They still got more debt to deal with,
Right.
and the income is never coming in anymore.
Right.
So we had to get in there and show them how to protect their income, not use life insurance for burial, but use life insurance to protect income. Does that make sense?
Yes.
The next piece that we dealt with was legal protection. When we met them, they had no will. 9 out of 10 people we come in contact with, they don't have any will, don't have nothing in writing at all showing them that if they get into an attorney situation, most people need an attorney before they need a doctor the way the economy is right now. People suing people for everything.
Right,
Okay?
right.
And then people don't have a health, I can't think of what you call it. but-
Director?
Yeah, health director. They don't have that, and they got to have that. So in case something happens, they got to know what resuscitate, don't resuscitate, how long to keep them. They don't have that. So
Right.
we put all that in play. We set them up a will through the Primerica Legal Protection Program with a full service law firm for $25 a month.
Really? And it accomplished all that?
All that,
Wow.
all that, and I'm gonna leave you a brochure on that to give you the details on that.
Okay.
Does that make sense to have a will?
Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
definitely.
From the auto and homeowners insurance standpoint, they was paying $243 a month for auto and homeowners insurance. Had never researched. They had the same auto and home that their parents had. They just took over. Got mom and them with that company. We went with that company, but never did no research.
Okay.
We gave them a quote, and we saved them $65 a month on their auto and home. Didn't sound like a lot, but $65 a month for 20 years at 9% is another $43,000 that can go towards sending one of your kids to college.
Right.
And so that's what we was able to do. That makes sense.
Yes.
And then the last piece we dealt with was retirement. They had $20,000 in an IRA at their bank, earning 1.5% with $100 per month contribution. They said at 65, they're gonna have a total of $89,000 in that account. What we did was we rolled over that $20,000 into an IRA, and we put that money into a mutual fund, which I talked about. We offer earlier. We put that in a mutual fund. We had them to contribute $259 a month. Out of that $259 that we contributed, at 6%, they would have $500,000 at age 65. If they got 9%, they'd have 1.2 million.
Wow.
Okay, so all we did was change the address on some of the things that they were doing. All right, we took the $100 from here,
Yes.
and we took the $159 from here, and that's the $259, and they're gonna have over $500,000. Would you agree a $500,000 is more than 124 and 89 put together? And you know a million is more than that. So that's what we were able to do. So I want to ask you all this: if we sat down with 10 of your friends and they had a plan like A, and we showed them a plan like B, how many of those 10 do you think would switch from plan A to plan B?
Oh,
think
10.
all.
All 10. Well, we would think that, but real talk, we get 7 out of 10 that switch over. 3 of the people have the right to remain wonderful.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So
Right.
they wonderful, man.
Okay.
We appreciate it. They tell us, no,
Wonderful.
I think I'm gonna stay over here and keep getting
I
the
like
same
that.
interest rate. I think I'm gonna stay over here and get that, but we say wonderful.
I would
Thank you very
say
much.
stupid. My word would be
We can't say that, you know. So
They my friend.
Right,
I
right,
was
right.
stupid. Yeah.
So that's what we're able to do. So we show this to individuals to give them an idea of what we do for clients.
Okay.
But if you had the spirit, as you all said, second career program,
Yes.
career change for you, I want to show you, I gave you up front what my man showed me, what kind of income could be made, but I want to show you a little bit more detail on our business opportunity. Okay,
Okay.
which I'm gonna be leaving this brochure with you. So
Okay.
I'm gonna write on the back of here because I want to make sure that you take advantage of understanding where we're going.
Gotcha.
Okay, so in this example, I put down 6 people and a 50% contract. I'm just gonna make a couple notes right quick, just so that I have this set up for you, so you can see. But overall, how do you all feel about the presentation?
Oh, it's good information. I mean, I can see how exposed we are.
Okay.
You know?
It could change your lives, as far as
Yeah.
I can see.
Good information.
Well, Justin told me that, he was excited. He wanted me to get with you all to make sure you all got a chance to see the full picture. You notice, see, we assigned him to be we assigned every person to get involved as a field trainer.
Field
So we
training.
don't have him going out doing presentations. We do the presentation for him over and over and over again until he get licensed and trained and confident that he can do it on his own.
Gotcha.
Okay.
And then he will be able to do the presentation and go from there. Okay. So here's what I want to share with you here. If a person got involved with us and became a district leader, everybody start off as a rep. You saw on my page here, well, this is a rep, but we get people to a district leader within 60 days or less.
Okay.
Right? And mainly all they did was found 3 people who's interested in making money. And one of those 3 found 3 people interested in making money.
Gotcha.
And we helped some families and we moved through the process. And we got
Okay.
promoted to a district leader. So at a district leader, and they're working on their own at this point.
Okay.
Okay, in this example.
Okay.
They're doing their own presentations. They're licensed. If they help 4 families,
Okay.
4 of the families, they help 1 family a week. The 4 families did life insurance. 2 of those 4 did a retirement plan. 1 of those people did a debt watcher plan and got a debt. 1 of them did an auto and home, and 1 of them did a legal protection plan. That person, the district leader, would have the opportunity to make about $3,700
Wow.
on a part-time
That's
basis.
part-time. Wow.
$3,700. Okay. Now, my sister, she happens to be a regional leader. Okay, she's active in the field, but
Okay.
she has 3 people who are district leaders.
Gotcha.
And she gets paid a 70% contract, not a 50%.
Okay.
So that's a spread of 20%.
Yes.
Any of her people that do any business. So if she helped the same 4 families, if she helped the same, I see your air is kicking on again. I appreciate it. Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So at $5,000, that person, if they help the same 4 families,
Okay.
okay, at a regional leader level, they'd have made $5,000. Okay?
Okay.
If 2 of their districts, not 3, but if 2 of your districts, they just help 3 families each for a total of 6 families, the company would pay her another $1,900 through our profit sharing compensation plan.
Really?
She made $5,000 on her own pen, but because her team produced, she made another $1,900,
Okay.
which gives her the opportunity to make about $6,900 on a part-time basis.
Ah.
You can see how we can get people attention to have them come full-time with us. Okay, so that's on a part-time basis as well. But she wanted to go regional vice president. As a regional vice president, you got to have at least 6 people that became district leaders.
Okay.
You have to meet
Okay.
6 people through you that decide they want to move forward and become a district leader. When that happened, we give you a 110% contract. That's a regional vice president position. If you have the same 4 families, it's about $7,000. You know,
Wow.
as a district, you made $3,700 for having 4. As a regional leader, you made $5,000, but as a vice president, you make $7,700 for helping those same 4 families. Would you agree? You can see why people want to get the vice president.
Yes.
Right,
Okay.
right.
Yes.
All right. But the regional vice president, they had 2 regional leader teams. They had 2 people on their team, like my sister. If those 2 teams only have 5 families each for a total of 10 families for the month, they would pay you another $6,600 through our profit sharing compensation plan. You know the difference I told you, if you was at your job, they're paying you 30, paying other
Right.
people 20,
Right.
a $10 difference.
Right.
They pay you another $6,600 through our profit sharing. But also as a vice president, they pay you about $2,800 in bonus. Okay, if you total that up, that comes up to about $17,000 a month. $17,000 a month is $200,000 a year. That's how we're getting people's attention to look at us part-time initially and ultimately come full-time with us down the road, because we do not run out of people to see. People still need the services that we just showed you on the other page.
Yes.
Okay, but then the last piece I want to show you on here is something we call a senior vice president. Senior vice president, you're vice president, and the 2 of us are on your team, and Justin, and we're regional leaders, but guess what? We want to be a vice president just like you.
Right,
Okay?
right.
Because in corporate America, let me show you in the real world how it works. If he was a real estate broker and things were getting going real good, and we're reps, we're agents. Okay, real estate agents. We want to be a broker too.
Right.
Okay, and when we become a broker, we leave your office and we go open up another office down the street, and we're now your competition. You done taught us everything you know, and now here we are in a position by you teaching us everything we know. You done showed us how to do it all, and now we go compete with you. So you lose your best people. In corporate America, you lose your best people. All you're doing is training your competition.
Right.
You're going to lose them, and they're going to go someplace else. And if you were a pastor at church, and we all love the Lord, but I'm assistant pastor, I'm a minister, things get to going good for me, and the Lord tell me one night, I need to be a pastor, I'm leaving your church, and I'm taking some of your people with me. Is that the way it works?
Right.
That's how it works.
That's how it works. They leave, and they take some of your people with them, right? So you're going to lose the best people. Remember, Pastor, you told me, that, you know, the kingdom needs work, you know. So I'm just expanding the kingdom. Remember, you told me that. You told me, I'm just helping expand the kingdom. Don't be mad at me. I'm just have to do what the Lord told me. You know, He woke me up just like He woke you up, all right?
Did you guys take half my complications?
Right. So in that regards, as a senior vice president, because he's a vice president, when we become a vice president, he has 3 of them. We promote him to a senior vice president. He's a vice president. He still makes the same $7,000 that we make. Okay, because both of us are vice president with a 110% contract. But because he has 3 vice presidents and 2 of his leaders are regional leaders, if we all just help a total of 10 families, our whole team just helped 10 families for the whole month, the company's going to pay him another $16,000 through our profit sharing compensation.
Wow.
He's still going to get $2,800 as a bonus for being a vice president, but because he's a senior vice president, they're going to pay him another $7,000 bonus, which puts him on track to make about $400,000 a year. Okay, so I just wanted to share the compensation plan, what Justin was excited about. That's why he called you all, made sure y'all was gonna be home, made sure we can get over here and show you what we were doing, because he has an entrepreneurship spirit. He knew that he did not want to work at the company he worked at right now for the rest of his life. He needed a way out. When we talked about his goals and dreams, his goals and dreams was here, his income was here. And so he had to go figure out another way to make some money to get the goals and dreams he wanted quicker. And so that's why he got excited about this.
I can see that.
You know, he's a district leader right now, working his way up to become a regional leader. That's where he's at right now. He's trying to move here. So in closing, in this scenario, we asked the question. He said to me, if you could earn an extra $20,000 to $40,000 per year part-time, would that interest you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And then he said, can you think of any logical reason why you shouldn't get started with me at least part-time?
No.
And that's what he shared with me. So he closed the presentation and said to me, he said, in this particular regard, I want to make sure you understood something, that for a person to get involved with our company, now you all know people that go to college, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you give me an idea for somebody taking one class 3 hours in college? Can you give me an idea of what they pay for that one class? Average for one class 3 hours.
Maybe 1,000, 600,000.
It's between $800 and $1,500, depending on university or junior college. You see what I'm saying? For 3 hours, they can go and take one class and ace it, and still can't get a job because they don't have a degree yet.
Right.
Okay, so we said while people are doing that kind of thing, we are attracting individuals to come to work with us on a part-time basis, and they can get their license. It only costs them $124.
Really?
$124. We're gonna pay for your insurance license and your investment license for $124.
Wow.
You only pay the $99 one time, and you pay $25 a month to run your business. Okay, so we show people that, and so I conclude this presentation by asking you all again, so we all on the same page. From what I just shared with you, what would interest you the most? Would it be the financial? Would it be the financial game plan, the business plan, or could it be both?
Maybe both.
I think we can benefit from
Both.
both.
Okay, all right. And so that's what I said. So what I want to do is gather some basic information regarding your goals and dreams. Okay, but Justin is going to step out of the room right now because I'm going to ask you some personal questions. Okay, so he's going to step out. While he steps out, I want to just go right into asking you some questions. And my first question I have for you, we're about done here, but my first question I ask for you all is, what age did you all thought about retiring, giving yourself time enough to stack up enough money?
I said 65.
65? Okay.
Yeah, 65.
Okay. All right, 65. All right. The next question I have for you, do either one of you, I asked earlier, but I just want to make sure, do either one of you all have a pension or a retirement plan?
I got a
401k, but not a pension right now. Okay. And most people, like I said, 90% of the people do not have a pension at all. Okay. So I'm moving forward. So we asked the question, inside of your 401k plan right now, what do you think you have in your 401k plan, roughly?
I think I got about 10,000.
About $10,000. Okay. All right. And what do you think you have in yours?
About 8.
About 8,000. Okay. And what are you contributing? How much are they taking out of your check every month?
take.
You know, every 2 weeks rather.
2 weeks, $100.
$100, so
Right.
$200.
Right.
And how about yours?
75.
75, so about 150. Okay. And do either of your companies match?
They match up to 3%.
Okay, up to 3%. So that's more. That's less than 3%. So they're giving you dollar for dollar on that. So you got a $200 match and a $150 match on your particular plan. Do you all have any other retirement programs? Any other retirement programs outside of the one you have a job like at an old company that you used to work for, or an IRA or annuity or anything like that?
No.
Okay, all right, no problem. What I want to do right now is I want to deal with non-retirement assets. And dealing with non-retirement assets, I want to ask the question, if you had to get your hands on cash from checking account, savings account, money market, credit union, where is the money at right now? If you had to get your hands on
I
cash.
got a credit union, I got about 5,000.
Okay, so you got a credit union, about $5,000 in there. What do you have?
Well, we're together, so
Together.
that's all we have.
Okay, all right, so about $5,000, okay? If you had to get your hands on cash, you can get your hands on about $5,000. Okay, fantastic, fair enough. I also want to move forward and let's deal with the debt scenario. I know that you said that you're in a home and you want to get another home, but in the home that you're in currently, what is the balance? What do you all owe on the property that you have right now?
About eight stuff,
I
right?
think it was about 80.
About 80. So owe $80,000. And do you all have, what's the total payment that you're making? The total monthly payment?
About what, 1,500?
1,500, okay. And do you all have any idea what's going to principal, interest, tax, insurance? If not, you can just put, we can get a mortgage statement on that. All right, so I'm gonna put a question mark. Anytime I put a question mark, I'm gonna come back at the end and put
Okay.
everything I have as questions. I'll have you gather that information, and I don't want you to get up from the table trying to go find this, find that, because we're gonna be here all day to do this, all right?
Okay.
So I wanna get that information, and it'll have your interest rate on it, it'll have everything. Now, do you all have any automobile payments?
Yes,
Okay, one or two?
2.
Two, okay. So I'm going auto one and I'm going auto two. Do you have any credit cards?
Yeah,
And to take Visa.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you got a Visa, you got one or two credit cards?
we got 2.
Two, Visa and a MasterCard. Do you have any student loans that you owe or anything?
She do.
Okay, one student loan, and do you have any personal loan, like a furniture loan or anything like that? Okay,
No, we
no
don't
problem.
have that.
So on the automobile one, what do you think the balance is?
Thinking about 15,000.
15,000, what's the monthly payment?
We pay about 400.
Okay, that's the monthly payment on that, okay. On your second one, what's the balance on that one?
10,000.
10,000, what's your monthly payment?
About 275.
About
Well,
270.
300.
300, okay, okay, all right. On the Visa, what do you think the balance is on the Visa?
2,500,
2,500, how about on the MasterCard?
5,000.
5,000, and on the student loan that you have?
I think I'm at 20,000.
20,000, okay. What's the minimum payments that are made on that? On that Visa, what's the minimum payment they request?
About 50.
About 50, what do you send in?
50.
You send in 50, okay, all right. No, I appreciate that, I appreciate that. What about the MasterCard, what's the payment on that one? Minimum
It's
payment?
about this, well, maybe about 70 on there.
70 on that one, okay. All right, and then the student loan,
About $100.
about 100
right
bucks.
now.
Okay, all right, fantastic, fantastic, okay. Is there any other debt that you all have that we have not discussed?
A couple.
That's it.
Okay, all right, fantastic, fantastic. Now, in me dealing with the life insurance side, I know you all say you have 50,000 on each, and 10,000 on your children, and the monthly payment on that, you said 125. Okay. And that 50,000, what company is that with?
Allstate.
Allstate? Both of them with Allstate, or is it a different company?
No, they both with us.
Both with Allstate, okay. And you all got 50,000 each. Do you know if there's any cash value built up in that policy at all? You know anything about that? We'll take a look at that.
We haven't looked at it
Yeah,
in a long
yeah,
time.
yeah, we'll take a look and see what that is. Okay. What about for health insurance, from a group standpoint, what do you pay for health insurance a month?
Mine's included.
So everything's for you on the health insurance, so,
My job. I think they take out probably about, I don't know, $20 every pay period or something.
No, that might be for your vision and eye or something like that. They ain't give you no health insurance for $20, but they like you. They don't like you that much. Okay.
I don't know.
When we look at the checks.
We gotta
we
look at the check
check
stubs,
stub.
yeah.
Right. I know they be taking out all kinds of stuff. So I'm gonna put a question mark down there by group coverage, so we can see what that is, so you can look on your check stub and verify what they actually are hitting you for on that. Yeah, because it ain't $20 for a health insurance, okay? Unless you work for a medical company, work for a hospital or something.
I'm factory, bro.
Okay, all right. So we move forward from there. On the life insurance, you notice I did the dime already.
Yes.
Okay, and so I took the dime from there. I know we told you needed $590,000 on there. I got that piece already, and I know that you said you want to leave at least $3,000 a month for each other. All right, so we'll deal with that piece. Next thing I want to go to is the children education. You got 2 children, one 12, one 5. What's the first one's name?
George.
George. Okay, the second one?
George, yeah. Oh, yeah,
George.
Linda's her first name.
Yeah, I know y'all.
Linda's
Most
middle
people,
name.
most people call them something else when you're doing it for them. Okay, so right now, would you all be wanting to send them to a 4-year public college or a 4-year private college?
We were 4-year public.
Public. That's what I
Yeah,
went 4-year
public.
public. It's still made out. So it's about $18,000 right now a year for that. $18,100 a year for that.
A year?
A year. Okay. We'll come back to that, but I'm just trying to show you that. Next thing I want to deal with is regarding your goals and dreams. From a goal and dream standpoint, I want to ask the question, goal and dream, what other goals and dreams do you all have? It's going to cost money. I know you all said vacation, so from a vacation, what do you think you all would spend on vacation a year? Would you spend $2,000, $3,000, $5,000? What do you think? You spend?
About 5.
About $5,000 a year.
About 5,000.
Okay. And you also mentioned that you want to get another home. In order to get another home that you want to get, what do you think the other home would cost, the new home?
Probably about 250,000.
That's what I thought, yeah, 250.
Okay. If it's 250, you know, you want to probably put down 10%. You know, people can get a house for 3% right now, but so we just say 25,000.
Okay.
Is that good?
Yeah.
That's good.
Okay. So how long would you give yourself time to stack up 25,000 to get that home? Because see, you in a home would be different if you wasn't in a home. You was just trying to get one. You would put a lot less down and just get in instead of paying rent for $1,200, $1,500 a month. So on this one, how long would you give yourself the time to save 25,000? 3 years, 5 years, 7 years? What do you think?
Maybe 7 years.
Yeah.
7 years, okay. All right, no
5,
problem.
7 years.
All right. Any other goals and dreams you all have? Now I got retirement plan already. I got eliminate debt. I got kids college plan already. I got insurance already. I already got that. But is there any other goals and dreams that are gonna cost money?
She's want a new car. I definitely need a new car.
Okay, so a new automobile. What would you all want to put down on that first automobile?
I could probably put about $2,000.
$2,000. Okay. Is that something you'd be trying to do this year or next year?
This year.
This year. So
Another last leg.
all right, all right. And on the other automobile, put down the same amount.
Yeah.
And would that be
Not right now for that one, maybe next year.
okay? So 2 years on that. All right. Any other goals and dreams you can come up with?
I think that's good.
Okay, all right, no problem, no problem. Good, good, good. On the auto and homeowners insurance, do you all have an idea what you're paying for that, or if not, we can look at the declaration page and verify what
I
that is.
think that's 600 every 6 months.
600, so about 100 a month. Okay, 100 a month for the auto, and what about the homeowners insurance?
The homeowners, I think about.
We'll pull that up in the mortgage statement. When we get the mortgage statement, it's gonna show it right
Right
there
there.
on the
Okay.
mortgage statement about what you're paying. So I'm putting another question mark right there.
Okay.
All right. And you all, did you say, do you all have legal protection already, wills and stuff like that?
Well, we need that.
Okay, all right, so we'll be getting that. And do you all have a home security system right now?
No.
Okay, we'll get you, make sure you get a free quote on that as well.
Okay.
Fantastic. We're moving to the budget worksheet now. We're moving to the budget worksheet. You don't pay rent because you got a mortgage, but, and for your mobile phones, your cell phones, what do you think that is a month?
200.
200, okay. Fantastic. Cable, satellite, Wi-Fi, all that
About
together?
150.
About 150, okay. What do you think electric and gas is together?
What about,
200?
yeah, roughly.
200, okay. What about water and waste management for garbage pickup and water?
About $60 a month.
$60, okay. Any maintenance repairs going on right now at the house? Nothing, okay. Home improvements, lawn service. Are you
I'm the last.
you the line? You the all right. So
Got the grass now.
right. So is there anything else? I know you don't have a alarm system right now because I would have picked that up here in the alarm system on the other. But is there anything else that's in the house that you're spending money on?
We have a home warranty plan.
Home
Remember
warranty
that
plan, okay.
that takes the, appliances.
That's good. What do you pay for that?
Yeah, that's like $700 a year now.
$700 a year.
So that's-
Okay.
yeah.
All right. So about $58 a month. Okay. All right. Got it. Food and groceries at home. What do you think you spend?
At least about, I would say about 500 a month.
500 a month. Okay.
Yeah.
What about clothing? Shopping.
Maybe about 1,000 a
Her-
year. Maybe 1,000 a year.
1,000
so
a
about-
year?
Yeah, so that's
So gonna
close
say
to
80 a month, 100 a month?
Right.
Okay. All right, not bad. Any medical dental prescriptions not covered by your insurance that you all pay? No. Okay. All right. Laundry and dry cleaning. What do you think?
Maybe about $20 a month.
20 a month. Okay. Is there any child care? I know one child is 5. Is that one in kindergarten now already? Or?
They in a full day school.
Okay, so no
No child care.
So no other educational expenses, no legal expenses, no alimony or child support, anything going on like that? Babysitters? Okay. All right. What about hair and nails?
About $50 a month.
50?
50?
Well, about 100.
About 100. Okay, all right. And then you get your haircut. What is yours?
I cut them off.
You cut your own. All right, okay, so about $100 a month. Is there any charitable giving going on?
Oh, yeah, we try to time.
Okay, what do you think you tithe a month?
Well, about 300 a month.
300 a
Is that
month,
right?
okay. All right. How about gifts for birthdays and holidays that you do for family, kids, friends? You know, what would
About
you
1,000.
a year? So about $80 a month.
About 1,000,
All right. For gas and all in the cars, what do you think? What do you spend a week and what do you spend a week?
yeah. I spend probably about $100.
$100 a week.
Yeah.
I spend about $50 a week.
Okay, so that's 200 plus 400, $600 a month for gas. Any maintenance or repairs going on with the cars? Right?
Just oil changes.
Oil change, okay.
Like, so
About what?
that's about,
50.
Well, that's not gonna be
but
every
not all the
month.
time.
That's not gonna be every
It's
month. So,
every 3.
we say about 300 a year for both cars.
Yes.
okay, so about $50.
Okay.
All right. Vacations. Are you all? Were you currently saving right now for vacations, or that's one? I know it's one of our goals. So we want to save. No problem.
That's why I'm on vacation.
Right. What kind of hobbies do you all have? You
I
know,
drink beer.
drink beer.
We
Okay.
go skating.
Okay, skating, beer.
Okay.
Anything else like
Bowling.
any bowling?
Yeah.
Okay, and any lottery or going to the boat at all? No, I'm just saying. I mean, everybody do something. Everybody got something. But I want to know what should we put down that you all spend a month on those kind of things?
Maybe about 250.
About 250. Okay. On the hobbies. Okay. Is there any club memberships that you have going on?
I don't.
Okay. All right. Restaurants, eating out. What do you think you spend on restaurants eating out?
And then, let's say about maybe $100.
$100 a month.
Roughly, yeah. Don't go out too much.
Okay. Any movie theaters, rentals, entertainment, anything like that? I know we captured some of it. Right.
We got Netflix. I
Right,
think
right,
that's about $9.
Okay, all right. I got it. Anything else in that sector? Any leisure? Anything else? Okay. The mortgage, we're going to pick it up. The debt, we're going to pick it up. We're going to pick up everything else from what we gathered earlier. Okay. And so what I'm going to do is, I know you said you had $5,000, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to average when we total this. I'm going to average and verify what you're spending a month. And we think people need to at least have a minimum of 3 months of income set aside for emergencies. So back on my other page, when I was asking about your goals and dreams, I'm gonna come back once I total that number up in the computer, and we're gonna put down So say that number is $3,000.
Okay.
So we're gonna put down a goal of $9,000 for emergency. So when you see that, I want you to see where it's coming from.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, that's good.
All right. And we're almost through. I just want to get some basic information from you all. Kurt is your first name. Kurt Ryan. And Joanne. Okay. Date of birth. Sir.
Date of birth. He's
5,
35.
5/15/90.
90, okay. And yours is
I'm actually 6'15".
6/15/90. Okay, all right, good. All right, your email is, you gave it to me earlier, Kurt Ryan at AOL.com. Cell number, your cell number, sir.
773-241-2400.
I know I have yours already because I called and set the appointment up. You all don't use a home phone number. I know you use sales, no home phone number. The children's first name, the first one was George and the other one was Linda. And what is George's birth date?
March the 5th.
March 5th. Okay, and Linda's?
Is June the 7th.
June 7th, okay. You said one's 12 and one's 5. Okay. And your address at home?
649 157th Street.
That's 157. All right, what city is that?
South Holland.
South Holland, okay. 60473, okay, I got that. All right, I'm just gonna look through here as well. Okay. What do they pay you a year, sir?
50,000.
50,000, and what do they pay you a year?
40,000.
40,000, okay. All right. So, when I look at 50 and 40,000, it's about $90,000 a year. And when I look at $90,000 a year, your employer, we said, first of all, we said is Nabisco.
Yes.
And yours is IBM. And you work in a factory, and you work in an office. And all right, so $90,000. When looking at $90,000, one of the questions I have for you all, we're looking at $90,000. Remember I said earlier in the presentation that if you're dealing with any kind of personal financial analyst or financial service person, they're always going to tell you to set aside at least 10% of your income and work your way up to 15%.
Right.
So because of that particular piece, if we're looking at $90,000, okay, you know, people want to always look at, and I want to put this on here because I want to make sure you all keep that. People always want to at least set aside 10% and work their way up to 15%. Okay, so 10% of 90,000 is $900. Okay, and 15% of $900 is another $450 on top of that, which is $1,450. I mean, excuse me, $1,350. All right, and so when the guy sat down with me, he asked me, Mike, would your budget allow you to say 10% or 15%? And I told him at the time, my budget would not allow me to say either one of those.
Right.
Okay. So he said, well, what could you do now? All right. And when he said that, I said, well, if it's right now, I could do like $200 a month. You know, $50 a week is what all our budget would allow. And I said, what could you do for that? And he said, Mike, there are 3 things we put together a plan for you. We're gonna put together an income protection plan for you, and secondly, we're gonna put together a legal protection plan for you. And third, we're going to put together a investment plan for you. Okay. And when we finished ours up, the income protection was $125. The legal plan was $25. So we had a will, and we put up $50 into our investment plan for the $200. So I can't ever spend my client's pocket. Okay. I don't spend your pocket. So my question is, for you all, what would your budget allow you to do? Would it allow you to set up the 10%, the 15%, or do you have to do 200 or more? What would your?
We had about 200.
Yeah.
About $200.
Good for
Okay.
me right now.
Okay. All right. And that's where I got started. Okay. That's where I got started. So what we're going to do is we'll go with that with the $200, and we'll show you exactly what kind of package we can put together for that particular piece. And then the other scenario, since I got most of your information already, the other scenario is which of you all would be starting getting involved with us first. You know, both of y'all start at the same time. Okay, fantastic. Okay, I have all of your information, but I do have to ask 2 other questions. First question: do you all have any background challenges, felonies or misdemeanors or anything like
Oh, no.
Because in this kind of business, you're gonna be dealing with people's social security and personal information, so we gotta do a background check on everybody.
Okay.
Okay, and that's included in the 124 that you're gonna pay. And I also gonna need your social security numbers.
Okay.
So I get yours is I got yours, all right?
Okay.
All right, and then the other pieces I need to know, are what credit card would you use? Would you use the Visa or MasterCard so we can take the 124?
You need Visa.
Visa, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, and we'll go from there. One of the last things I want to do is, I want to give you the question marks that I want to hit you with. On the question marks, there was 3 things I had, I believe, on the question mark. First one was the mortgage statement. So pull the mortgage statement, get that for me.
Okay.
The second one, I need you to get your pay stubs.
Pay stub.
Okay.
Okay.
And I thought it might be one more. Oh, yeah, homeowners insurance, which is gonna be on the mortgage statement. Okay,
Okay.
all right, that's what we would need. If that's something you can get your hands on now, you can get that, and if you can't get your hands on it now, you can get that back to me, all right?
Okay.
So where I wanna close out at is, in order to follow back up with you all, to set this up, I need to verify. I know today is Saturday, but my question for you is, we're gonna spend some hours trying to prepare this whole piece together for you.
Okay.
What I wanna do is find out, would your schedule be available on a Tuesday evening or a Saturday morning for you to get more information and understand this a little better?
I think Tuesday.
Tuesday?
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
good.
And the reason why I'm saying that, we have a corporate overview at our office. So anybody I sit down with, I always invite them out to our corporate office so they can see exactly who we are, what we do. Again, hear the same kind of thing in a PowerPoint presentation, but then there's some people that might ask some questions that you didn't ask, okay? So I wanna do that, so that's gonna be Tuesday. We'll set you up for that Tuesday, and then I'll have time to put this package together for you. Will Wednesday or Thursday be better for us to get back together for me to deliver this package for you?
Okay, church on Wednesday.
Church on Wednesday, so Thursday?
Thursday would be good.
Would 6 o'clock or 7:30 be better for you?
Let's do 7:30.
7:30, okay. 7:30 on Wednesday. Okay, well, fantastic. I am excited about this, and my last piece I need to give you all is referrals. Because just like how I got to you all, this is gonna help, this would have helped Justin directly, but because you all are getting involved, it's gonna help him indirectly.
Okay.
This list that you put together is actually gonna be for you. People that we can go sit down with you, and then Justin will benefit because he introduced you all to the business. But sometimes we sit down with clients and they are just interested in the plan,
Yes.
not interested in getting involved as an entrepreneur and earning additional income, being able to take advantage of tax write-offs and win company trips. So they ain't into all that. Okay. I'm glad y'all into that.
Yes,
Okay?
yeah.
All right. So this list is gonna be for you to complete this between now and the time I get back, and then we'll schedule after I see you all in the meeting on Tuesday, and we'll go from there.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I want to thank you all very much. It's been my pleasure working with you all this morning. But I am very, very excited about what's going to happen for you. I'm looking forward to the vacations. I'm looking forward to the cars.
Yes,
you know,
yes.
Looking forward to eliminating that debt, sending the kids to college. I'm very excited about that.
Yeah.
I look forward to seeing you all on Tuesday. Fair
All right,
enough.
thank you.
All right.
My pleasure, man.
Okay.
But,
My sister,
Thank you.
thank you so much.
Mhm.
Look forward to seeing you.
Thank you.
all right.
All right.